have a round of applause for both teams. That was a great basketball game. In just a few moments, we will get started with our court dedication ceremony. Just a few moments.
Basketball fans, welcome to Blackhawk Christian for tonight's matchup between Northside and your Blackhawk Christian Breaks. I'm Brian Greenwald along with Paul Suvar. Welcome to the broadcast tonight. We're coming on a little bit early after a very exciting junior varsity game there.
Yes,
that
goodness.
Just wrapped up. 62-59 on a buzzer beater, a three-pointer at the buzzer to win it for Northside there in the JV game. And right now we're going to have a court dedication ceremony. And Paul, obviously this is to honor the late coach Mark Davidson.
Yeah, without question, yeah. That's a special moment tonight, onset of the season here. Athletic Director Joel Cotton has done a lot of work behind the scenes to try and make this happen. Gone through the process of having the court marked up, sealed up, and very honorable thing to do for a man who's had a great legacy, a big imprint here on the school, and something that will help all the Blackhawk faithful remember his dedication and his sacrifice to this school.
It's something that came across or came available very quickly. I mean, they made this happen, obviously, wanted to get it done before this season started. Got to imagine in part, with Jimmy being a senior this year, wanting to get the court in place there before Jimmy graduated, and something that will be very special. I know Coach Davidson's family is all here tonight. They'll be involved in this ceremony that we're going to have before the game with Joel Cotton, the athletic director, kind of leading the way here in the ceremony. I know we'll play a short video as part of the ceremony. Then both teams will gather at half court with the Mark Davidson tradition of praying in the circle at half court. And that will happen before the game here tonight with both teams being involved there. And then afterward, I know that Coach Davidson's dad is here tonight, and he will pray for everybody at the end of the ceremony. So again, we'll get things started there in just a few minutes with the ceremony as the Davidson family is gathering there underneath the basket. See the oldest son, Wes, down there, Frankie, Marcus down there, along with the youngest kids, Isaiah and Jayla. Will Davidson being the only son not here tonight. They are missionaries overseas, so they are not able to be here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Team Davidson. You may be seated. Thank you for joining us tonight for our season opening game of Blackhawk Christian Boys Basketball. Tonight is a special night for the BCS family. It is a special night for the Davidson family. Before we begin tonight's game versus Northside, we wanted to take a few minutes to remember Coach Mark Davidson and his contributions to the Blackhawk Christian community. As you can see on both sides of the court, Mark Davidson Court has now been placed on the court as a memorial to the coach who invested so much into the BCS basketball program and school community. We will forever remember Mark's contributions to this place, and I want to highlight just a few. First of all, Mark loved to compete. The game of basketball, strongman competitions, whatever he was doing, he loved to compete. But it was always more than just a game for Mark. It was about the community that was built in relationships in the strongman community and in the basketball community. I think you see a little bit of glimpse of that tonight with Northside, with Blackhawk Christian, with Grace College being here. When you join a basketball family, you're a part of that family forever. And Mark loved Fort Wayne basketball coaches and players from other schools, not just ourselves. Mark loved BCS. As a teacher for all kids in grades K through 12, his impact was far and wide at making kids feel special and empowered to impact this world for Christ. Mark loved being in the gym. I think you can ask any family member that. It is no accident that his name will be on this court because he spent so many hours in this place. And if you've been to a Braves basketball game in recent years, you can't help but associate Mark's presence with this gym. Mark loved his family. He was constantly and humbly praising his wife Lisa and their children and a new grandchild as being the most important people and priorities in his life. And finally, Mark loved the Lord. This brings me to highlight the verse that was also placed on the floor, Colossians 3:23. Mark would have been adamant that if his name was ever to be on the court, that the scripture verse would be right there along with it. This was always his main focus. Colossians 3:23 says, "Whatever you do, work heartily, as for the Lord and not for men." It became well known in the last couple months that Mark loved Colossians 3:23 and lived this out during his life. He worked hard at whatever he did. He let his life be used as an offering to God to use his talents and abilities for the Lord's work. He did not do anything for the approval of man. He did not seek attention for the glory of himself. He tried to point everything and everyone to God. He was always present in whatever task was before him. In the first few years of knowing Mark, I would describe his task here on earth as being a teacher, a coach, and a strongman competitor. These things occupied his time, and he worked hard at all three of these things, and used all three of these things for the purpose and glory of God. However, these three things also were simply earthly tools that Mark used. The greatest tool and gift that God has blessed Mark with was with the gift of evangelism. He would not shy away from sharing the name of Jesus with anyone that he encountered through his earthly tasks. This too became more publicly known during the last year of his life through his cancer battle. Mark used his coaching platform to bring the gospel of Jesus into the mind of both teams and coaches by having team huddles at center court after each game. Though his physical strength was failing rapidly, he prioritized this task because he was convinced that God would use this platform to bring others to know God. As his physical strength and body failed him, Mark could have easily and understandably started to fade away into a more private space. But he vulnerably showed us all an undying commitment to live out his God-given task in the time he had left here on earth. He truly worked with all of his heart to glorify his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, while here on earth. And so, tonight, we dedicate this court to that same mission that all of us would follow Mark's example and work heartily at whatever we are called to do, and do it as if we are working for the Lord. May that be what we remember when we come into this gym at Blackhawk Christian. We are fortunate to have a video clip. Unfortunately, the video is not working, but we have an audio clip that we can listen to from Mark's brother, Matt Davidson. Matt lives in the Chicago area and is unable to be with us tonight, but Matt wanted to share a few words with us.
I'm sorry I wasn't able to join you in person, but I'm grateful for this opportunity to say thank you to Blackhawk Christian Schools for honoring my brother Mark in this way. I'm grateful for the board, the administration, faculty and staff, parents and grandparents, and most of all, I'm grateful for the students. You've been an inspiration to our entire family during this journey, and we're indebted to this community. I've had a front row seat to the loving kindness and the generosity of Blackhawk Christian Schools. Every time we enter this gym, no matter what stage of life that we're in, may we be reminded of Mark's life and his conviction. And it's right there on the court now for all to see. But no matter what we do, may we work at it heartily, give it our all, and then most importantly, above all, that we would do it as unto the Lord, for his glory and honor and praise. So again, on behalf of our entire family, Team Davidson, I say thank you. Have a great game tonight, and let's go Braves.
I love that tonight is a game with our neighbors from down State Street. Mark would have loved this. He loved basketball in the Fort Wayne community at large, and not simply here at Blackhawk Christian. The competition is always fierce, yet in sportsmanship we can always support each other afterward and rally around this common bond of basketball in our community to help our community grow stronger. Northside High School contacted me last week with a gesture that they would like to do. This was unprompted and a surprise to me, so we are grateful. Tonight, Northside has made 50 royal blue and gold bracelets with a cross symbol and Coach Davidson for every player, coach, cheerleader, and event staff of Blackhawk Christian. They would like to give these bracelets to the BCS team, coaches, and cheerleaders at this time as a token of their respect for what Coach Davidson meant, not just to BCS, but to basketball in the city of Fort Wayne. And if you remain standing, please. There's only one way to appropriately end this ceremony, and that is the legacy that Mark left was circling up at half court. So we'd like to ask the Blackhawk Christian coaches and players, and Northside coaches and players, and Team Davidson, come join us at half court in a big circle. And to close us out tonight, we are grateful to have Mark's father, Don Davidson. Don is a Hall of Fame basketball coach in Illinois. He knows what circles like this mean in the basketball family. Two teams competing in the same community, and also knows the impact that this game of basketball can have in changing lives. He also knows what Mark's heart was in sharing his faith. Don, thank you for being here. And if you can have a few moments to share your heart and close us here in prayer at center court.
Thank you, Joel. I would like to echo what my son said too. Our family is just unbelievably grateful for this tremendous honor bestowed upon my son. Tell you a little bit about my son. I coached basketball for 53 years. Mark was the best player I ever coached. He scored exactly 2,300 points in his high school career, 4 years of high school. He had over 1,900 rebounds. That is a record in Illinois that has stood for over 30 years, 1,900 career rebounds. He was a all-stater. He graduated from Aurora Christian High School. He went on to play as a scholarship player for 2 years at the University of Illinois. He wasn't playing enough, so he decided to transfer to Trinity International University in Deerfield. There he was a NAIA All-American for 2 years in a row. Then he went to France, played professionally for 8 years. And you know what type of coach he is, but that's the player that he was. But he wouldn't ever tell you that, but I will. 3 characteristics, I think, that the Lord developed in his life that I'd like to talk to you about just for a couple of minutes. The first one is self-discipline. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 24 through 27 talk about anybody who strives to be excellent in anything has to be self-disciplined. And Mark was the epitome of discipline in his life. Epitome of discipline. He was a true ambassador for Christ. Secondly, in 1 Corinthians 4, verse 2, it says, if you are given the mysteries of God, then you're supposed to be faithful. And Mark was a faithful man. Everybody would say that in Indiana, basketball is king. I've seen that. And if you win a couple state championships, you have a huge platform from which to speak. And Mark was just a faithful man. He was just faithful. The Lord said, here's your platform. Be a faithful man. All of us are just called to be faithful in whatever job the Lord puts us in, whatever ministry we're put in, we're to be faithful. The basketball court was his pulpit. You understand? The basketball court was my son's pulpit. The third thing that I felt like the Lord gave him was humility. Psalm 115, verse 1 says, not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but to you give glory to your name. Give glory to the name of the Lord, not unto him, but unto the Lord. And 1 Samuel 2:30 says, God says, I honor those who honor me. I honor those. When they honor me, I honor them. But it has to be first that you honor the Lord first. So I see that as a great quality in his life. Colossians 1:18 says, God wants the preeminence in our lives. He wants us to redirect the praise that somebody gives us, give it to the Lord. Mark did that better. Anybody else? Matthew 5:16 says, let your light so shine before men that they'll see your good works, and because you're pointing to Jesus, they'll praise the Lord. They won't praise you. They praise the Lord. That was Mark. Billy Graham said this, direct quote, a coach will impact more people in 1 year than the average person will in a lifetime. Imagine that quote. And Mark impacted many, 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 many people for the Lord's sake. So I would say those 3 things, self-discipline, faithfulness, humility, were the qualities that I saw the Lord develop in Mark. He was a true champion for Jesus Christ, a true champion for Christ. And if Mark was standing here tonight, he would want you to know this. God loves you. God loves every person in here, and God has a great plan for every person's life in here. But sin has separated you from God. But John 1:12 says, but as many as receive him, you have to receive Christ. Ask him to come into your heart. Ask him to take away the penalty for your sin. He'll come into your life. He'll give you a life worth living, like he did my son. Praise the Lord. My honor to pray tonight. Father, I'm thankful for this opportunity again. Our family will forever be indebted to Blackhawk Christian for this just humble honor that you gave to my son tonight. And so I pray that you would continue to bless this ministry. I pray that every person in here tonight would understand that the simple gospel message that Jesus Christ came to die for our sins, and he came to give us the guarantee of heaven someday. Thankful that beautiful promise in Scripture. I pray that you would give each player here tonight a game, a hard-fought game, that they would live out this verse on the side of the court. They would work heartily as if unto the Lord. And I pray that there be no injuries tonight on either team. I pray that you'd help the kids, the players, to just love competition. Mark loved competition, like has already been mentioned tonight. So I pray that they would just love the competition, play the game hard, determined, fairly. I pray that Jesus Christ would be honored tonight as they play. Both teams. I pray this in Jesus' name.
playing of their school song. And now let's welcome the Blackhawk Christian cheerleaders.
Almost game time here at Blackhawk Christian. Welcome back along with Paul Subar. I'm Brian Greenwald. Welcome to the season. A season of change for the Blackhawk Christian Braves.
Yes.
Coach Matt Roth in his first season for the Braves. Coach Roth says we won't see a lot of visible change. What do you think we'll see out of Coach Roth's team this year?
Well, a lot of intensity. He's going to definitely emphasize the things that Coach Davidson during his tenure here did as well. Hard-nosed defense, good ball movement, crisp passes, being strong with the ball, and being effective out in the open court. I know Coach Roth likes to score the ball just like Coach Davidson did, so I expect him to try and push the pace when needed. Because I know that our guys like to get up and down and run. Now, that might not match up particularly well tonight against Northside, because I know that they'd certainly like to pick up the pace and get out in the open court as well.
Yeah, last year, 6-point game, I believe. Blackhawk Christian came out on top in the first game of that season. I'll tell you, last year at Northside, the thing that stuck out to me it was the first of the coming out party for Josh First.
Yes.
Last year in that Northside game. He
Yeah.
really put his presence on it, stepped out of his brother's shadow, and obviously it led to a big season for Josh.
Yeah, without question. Different players altogether, but same bloodlines for sure. A lot of athleticism in the First family. But Josh is going to be a vital, pivotal player for the Braves this year in trying to develop that senior leadership and that consistent threat down on the low post.
Yeah, we talked about the senior leadership, and you got Gage Sefton, Josh First, and Jimmy Davidson. Davidson, the leader of the team, even if he doesn't score,
Yes.
the most number of points, he certainly seems to be the team leader out on the floor. He gets everybody in position. He's the key in that defense and the pressure, and he's usually the point of the offense, even though he's not the point guard.
Yeah, without question. The ball is going to go through his hands. He's going to deliver that ball. He's going to need to be more confident this year in shooting the basketball and become more consistent threat on that end of the floor.
We're going to take you down to the biggest American flag I may have ever seen other than Glenbrook Dodge.
I love it.
And we'll go down for starting lineups, the national anthem, and then we'll be right back with the tip.
At the Christian school, we value the need for good sportsmanship and remind everyone that high school athletics is an educational event. Coaches and athletes are encouraged to cheer in a positive manner for their team, show respect for their opponents, and honor the decisions made by the officials. Our expectations for BCS family to keep sportsmanship as a priority in all contests and to bring honor to our Lord Jesus Christ.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight singing the national anthem is going to be all of you. I will lead us, but you are going to sing it with me. Here we go. Remove your hats and let's sing. Oh, say, can you see by dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now, let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's contest. First, for our guests, the Northside Legends. Standing 6'3", wearing number 1, he's a senior guard, Ante Johnson. Wearing number 3 is a 6'5" senior forward, Bodie Dickerson. Number 11 is a 6'5" senior forward, Jordan Green. And number 12 is a 6'5" junior, Jackson Fugate. Wearing number 15 is a 6'5" junior guard, Eugene Young Jr. Right now, here is the starting lineup for your Blackhawk Christian Parade. He stands 6'8", he's a sophomore forward. He wears number 4, Kellen Pan. He's a junior wing, he stands 6'4", ladies and gentlemen, number 11, Isaac Smith. Wearing number 13, he's a 6'6" senior. He patrols the bench Sefton.
Starting lineups announced for both teams here for tonight. Blackhawk Christian going with Sefton first, and Davidson, and joining them in the lineup this year, at least for the first game, sophomore Kellen Pickett and junior Isaac Smith. For Southside, they go with Breante Johnson, Bodie Dickerson, Jordan Green, Jackson Fugate, and Eugene Young Jr. Kellen Pickett, the man who will never stop growing. They list him at 6'8" this year for Kellen Pickett. He will jump center against Bodie Dickerson for the Legends. Tip is underway. Jimmy Davidson controls for Blackhawk. Gage Sefton, the senior we didn't talk about there in the pregame, the leading returning scorer for the Braves.
Without question. He's the heart and soul of the Braves offense. No doubt that they're going to look to try and get Gage Sefton started early and get him rolling.
Davidson drives middle. Isaac Smith open for three. A little long. Josh First corrals the offensive board for the Braves. Set things back up. Davidson on the left side. Penetration, the one-handed lean jumper for two.
I love it. Soft little mid-range game getting into the lane there. Jimmy Davidson. Beautiful touch there over the top.
Legends almost run over the official down there on the baseline. Johnson has it out top for Northside. Johnson almost 19 points a game in limited action because of injury last year for Northside. Short on the jumper, Pickett there with the board. Blackhawk will run. Sefton right side to Smith, inside to Josh First. Double team comes, First splits it and goes up for two.
Yeah, good strong move, cutting down to the baseline. Good body control as well to just have that hesitation, allowing the defenders to blow by them, going up strong to the rim.
Fugate thought about the three, got it back out to Johnson. Inside, Dickerson. He was open and he goes up for two.
That's a great look right there, down to the short corner cross. Both teams coming out in zone defense.
Left side, Jimmy Davidson penetrates in the lane, loses it though. Dickerson comes out for the Legends. Running ahead, Sefton. Hard fall for him and Dickerson. Looks like Gage is okay, but he picks up the foul there.
Yeah, great contest right there at the rim. Strong elevation by Gage trying to contest that ball at the apex, but boy, give Dickerson some credit being able to absorb that contact. That was heavy at the rim.
Gets the first one to go. Dickerson, quarterback on the Legends football team.
Some pretty good size up and down their lineup. Four guys starting at 6'5" and the fifth at 6'3". So up and down the line, no one who is towering over anybody, but good length across the board.
The Legends come with the zone pressure. Leaves Kellen Pickett in the corner for three.
Absolutely within Kellen Pickett's range. He might be 6'8", but you can't sleep on him out of the perimeter. Great hustle by him as well.
The sophomore on the floor for the Braves. Sefton up ahead. Josh First loses it, but the foul underneath.
Oh, fantastic. It all starts on the other end of the floor right there. Kellen drills a three, hustles back, and is able to scrap on the floor and get that ball to one of his teammates. Gage Sefton scoops that up and then kicks it up to Josh First, who explodes to the rim and is able to get that contact. A couple free throws here coming up.
First one for Josh is good.
Well, I like that form from Josh First. It looks like an adjustment that he's made in the offseason. A little bit cleaner, not as much of a whiplash kind of shot action. A little bit more straightforward out in front of him. Might gain some consistency from the free throw line from him this year.
That was one thing about his brother, always a great free throw shooter during his time here at Blackhawk.
Absolutely. Boy, to have a big guy be able to shoot over 80% from the line is just icing on the cake.
Johnson has it on the left side for the Legends. Right side.
Ooh.
Three is good by Fugate.
Well, that's going to be huge there for the Legends. If they can find any kind of consistency tonight from deep, they are going to be an extreme threat. Whoa!
Pickett with the awkward looking shot. Doesn't matter what it looks like.
That's right. finds the bottom. Well, that ball got skipped over him to the corner last time he caught it there. He rose up from 3 and splashed it down. With a little shoulder fake by Kellen, driving it hard. When you're that big, it doesn't take much to flip that ball up by the rim.
Checking in the ball game, Javion Davenport for the Legends, as Fugate picked up his second foul right after hitting the 3 down on the other end. Blackhawk will pick up a little bit of pressure here, mostly on the half-court level.
Token as they sag back into their 2-1-2.
Sefton with the near steal.
Great pass.
Inside, Eugene Young for 2.
Wow, that was really slick by Johnson.
Great look, and they've been able to find a few people inside against this zone so far early on.
Yeah, creases in it, and the Braves respecting the speed and quickness of the Legends coming out in that zone.
Sefton with the turnover, looking for first underneath. Johnson penetration, Pickett there, but rebound up and in for Young.
Yeah, as Kellen came over in the help side defense, that left wide open opportunities for offensive rebound.
Sefton with the penetration for 2, 14-11 our score. Blackhawk with the lead, 3-point lead. 4:20 to go here in the first quarter. Got Josh First in the middle of that zone. 3-pointer no good. Sefton with the rebound.
Good gang rebounding right there by Sefton.
Gage coming up. Finds Smith down inside to First. First with the turnaround. They're calling for traveling out of bounds to the Legends. Made a move underneath. Was a little uncomfortable with where he was going to go. The double team came, but wasn't a real pressurized double team.
Yeah. I give credit to the defense, though, again, using that third defender, the baseline, to kind of help trap First, make him uncomfortable.
Johnson now out front as Blackhawk switches to man. Gets it outside now to Davenport. Davenport has Isaac Smith on him. Gets it to Johnson. Johnson pulls up for 3, top of the key, no good. Pickett there with the rebound for the Braves. Northside likes to shoot the 3 this season. However, they did not hit a 3-pointer against Cathedral in their first game. As Sefton finds Pickett underneath the 2.
Beautiful over the top right there. Kellen, good position, had his defender on his hip. Going over the top of the 6'8", Kellen Pickett. Easy pickings for Pickett.
I tell you, Kellen's the wild card. I mean, he's got some action last year, but I don't think we saw truly his full form, in the action that he got last year on the varsity level.
Without question. He's not just a big. He's got skill to his game, can handle the ball a little bit. And we've seen already tonight a little bit of range from outside.
Smith tried to get it through the needle there to First, but the turnover, I should say.
Wow.
Nice penetration there by Johnson for 2.
Yeah, knifing through, just slicing to the rim. Johnson, extreme speed and quickness, explosiveness to the rim.
When Blackhawk's been patient tonight, they have found good shots. It's when they've tried to rush where they haven't. No shot there. Will get the hold before Josh went up for the bucket. Nice find underneath there.
Yeah, it's a little modified high-low action right there, using Kellen Pickett off in the wing setting. Josh First diving down to that right-hand block. Good strong hands by him. The defenders were laid all over top of him, able to grab it and then get fouled as he was going up to the shot. The foul took place on the floor.
Pickett with the shot, no good. Nice block out there by Johnson with the rebound for Northside. Ooh. Johnson will go all the way in and on the floor a foul. I believe it will be Sefton, though.
Has to be his second, I think.
That will be number 2 on Gage.
Sefton, that's his second.
We'll find the first substitution of the night for Coach Roth. Aiden Muldoon checks in for Blackhawk.
That's a big call right there for the Braves. Having Gage on the bench, he's going to have extended minutes here in the first half from the sideline.
Aiden's one of those guys, again, who we'll see how he shines here on the varsity level this year. He split his time a little bit last year, got some good action for varsity, but again, one of those guys that I don't think we truly saw everything that Aiden can do last year on the floor.
No doubt, yeah, that's part of his game right there. He's extraordinarily quick. He's a really good athlete. Smart basketball IQ. good floor general. He's going to have the ball in his hands when he's out on the floor running the point for the Braves. He's going to need to become a little bit more consistent with his outside shot, but that's absolutely something that he's been working on in the offseason. I'm excited for Aiden to see how he performs this year.
And the hustle from Aiden Muldoon, just like we saw right there, that's a big part of his game, is getting on the floor, causing chaos.
Yeah, quick hands, quick feet. Aiden is going to be able to use that to his advantage.
Out top, nice penetration. Down to the baseline, up, no good. Tip up, Kellen Pickett able to get the board for Blackhawk. Here's Muldoon running the point now for the Braves. Crossover and the pass down to first, triple teamed. Muldoon looks cross court now for Pickett. Down low, Jimmy Davidson. Davidson going up against a little bit bigger man and still able to drop it in.
Boy, that's just power by Jimmy Davidson going into the body of, who was that, Green, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, he's given up size right there, but again, going into the shot blocker's body kind of negates that opportunity to go up and block the shot.
Baseline, Dickerson. Gets it out top to Davenport, now over Green. Green looks inside, goes over first with a nice shot.
That is tremendously difficult. Great body control there by Green. First had him timed up and thought he had a shot blocked.
Inside, Josh First. They've got him for the offensive foul. Josh led with the shoulder there, just a little bit too much according to the officials. That'll be Josh's first. 39 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Blackhawk up by 3. Substitutions for Northside. Brayshawn Bassett into the ball game, along with Jordan King. Let's get a few guys a little break here at the end of the first quarter. They'll roll the ball up even though they've got plenty of time here. Davenport over to Bassett. Davenport will try right side now. And traveling there by Michael Dye.
Yeah, unforced turnover there, trying to feed that ball head to the free throw line. The nailhead is up shuffling his feet.
Pickett will trigger it in with 28 seconds. Jimmy Davidson in the back court. 25 seconds to go. Screen by First. Davidson looked for him on the roll, instead gets it out to Smith. Muldoon the 15, Josh First on the baseline. Muldoon for 3. Nice rebound, put back almost by Pickett, didn't quite go, 8 seconds to go.
Whoa.
A big heave with 4 seconds still to go. Now Davidson will be able to get a 3 off. Just off the front of the rim.
Wow.
Northside player didn't realize how much time there still was, which allowed Blackhawk to get one more shot in that quarter.
Goodness.
18-15 is our score. Blackhawk leads by 3 at the end of the first quarter. Fast-paced quarter. Relatively good for the scoring pace there. As we saw from Blackhawk when they had a chance to slow it down, that's actually, I think, when they found their better shots is when they were in the half-court set and were able to feed inside and go inside out.
Yeah, a little bit less helter-skelter, a little bit less chaos taking place. And at that point, the Braves were able to kind of really leverage their skill in the half court. You're absolutely right. Crisp passes, good hard cuts, and then some really strong individual play, in particular by the sophomore out there, the 6'8 sophomore, Kellen Pickett. Going inside, we've seen really good body control, him driving the ball to the basket, and obviously that outside shot from the corner pocket, which will end up loosening that defense up as well. Yeah, really impressed here. First game, get the first quarter under your belt. Everyone can exhale now and kind of get back into the rhythm of just playing the game of basketball.
Yeah, we talked before the game, what would be the emotional effect on Blackhawk of the court dedication before the game, and especially, on Jimmy Davidson obviously being a big part of it. Jimmy came out in the first quarter and had that bucket very early on in the first quarter. If nothing else, I think maybe to settle himself down and just to get into the rhythm of the game. Yeah,
without question. You're right. Very emotional presentation after the JV game, right before the varsity game here, the court dedication to Mark Davidson. really kind of neat thing to see kind of take place. We saw that kind of organized by Joel Cotton and put together, and the entire Davidson family outside of Will was able to make it and just be a part of it. Yeah, really kind of cool to see here.
Inside bucket for 2 there by Green. That's his second bucket of the game. Brings Northside within 1. Muldoon on the outside. Again, Gabe Sefton picked up 2 fouls there in the first quarter, so he will sit a little bit longer into the second quarter, not to pick up number 3. Isaac Smith, speaking of 3, dials it up from the top of the key.
That's going to be big. Again, Isaac Smith has the skill of outside shooting. Good size with him as well, able to shoot over the top of defenders. The Braves are going to look to him this year to become really consistent from the outside, to be that outside threat.
Bassett misses on the 3, rebound to the Braves. Yeah, anybody who was at the Lakewood Park game last year knows exactly how Isaac Smith can dial it up from outside.
Yep.
He was unstoppable in that game against his former team. Little penetration there by Smith. Muldoon open for 3. And on the floor, we're going to go the other way. Looks like maybe against Jimmy, I think.
Boy, I didn't see it. I know they were battling down on the block down there. Must a little too physical in the eyes of the official.
Number 4 team foul. Blackhawk Christian up by 4 with 6.5 to go before halftime. Looks like they'll settle back into the zone a little bit here for Blackhawk.
Which I kind of like it. I like that move by Coach Roth. I think it's smart. You know, Northside struggled shooting from outside. Well, they like to shoot from outside. They haven't been real consistent with it. Force them to shoot from deep and make them show you that they can be consistent out there before you have to start guarding a little harder.
3-pointer from the corner, no good. Always Fugate trying there. Muldoon pushes it for Blackhawk. Smith open on the wing from 3, no good. Pickett mistimed his jump, but first was right there. And we'll start again. Davidson drives baseline, the little floater, no good. And Jordan King landed on Davidson, and that is not something anybody wants.
It's not something. Yeah, you feel for Jimmy. Goodness, that's Jordan King, big fella down there. A little bit of contact after the shot, apparently.
Everybody appears to be okay.
Yeah.
I remember Jordan King from last year's game. He really impressed me as a sophomore against Blackhawk. Stepping into that game, first game of the season of his sophomore season. He really played well against Blackhawk last year.
Big guy, good size to him, eats up space. He's hard to move. He's got that low center of gravity. Yeah, providing good minutes for Northside here tonight.
And Pickett tips it out. First tracks it down. Davidson gets it over to Muldoon. Smith, corner 3, just off. Pickett fights for the board, and Northside comes down with it. Bassett pushing.
Oh, good look.
Inside, Johnson with the left-hand look.
Boy, that's tight quarter passing right there, but good find as Johnson slipped down to that left-hand block. Bassett able to slip it over to him.
Screen and roll, Jimmy Davidson floater in the lane for 2.
Boy, that's Jimmy's game, that little mid-range floater game for him. Boy, he's deadly and really effective.
Jimmy with 6 points so far tonight. Blackhawk builds back out a 4-point lead, just under 5 to go before half. That's Bassett way outside for 3. Muldoon tracks down another rebound for Blackhawk.
Yeah, Blackhawk, they like that. That's what they were trying to force Northside to do. Allow them to shoot that outside. They'll live with the results.
And they're going to get Davidson on the hold after he was stripped. He had a hold of Johnson's arm. I'm not even sure he realized he had a hold of Johnson's arm. But
falling down and ends up latching on to Johnson. Ends up picking up his second as well.
Dickerson and Young back into the ball game for Northside. 5 team fouls for Blackhawk. 4.5 to go before half. Johnson will bring it up. Blackhawks foul trouble so far on the offensive end of things.
Yeah, interesting. 5 team fouls. 2 players have 2 apiece.
Nice penetration inside by Johnson.
Finishing with the offhand as he slices across the lane. That is great body control right there by Johnson.
Davidson looks inside to first. First block shot, nice job there by Young. Smith has it out top now. They'll look inside again, this time for Pickett. Started again by Young. He finds Davidson in the lane again. Another floater for two.
That's knowing your game, knowing your strengths, and Kellen Pickett knows his teammate. Good chemistry right there, finding the cutting Jimmy Davidson.
I'll tell you, we got Grace College, got the men's basketball team in attendance, and they're loving Jimmy's floaters in the lane up there. You can see their reactions up there every time he hits that floater in the lane.
Oh, goodness.
Pickett finds Muldoon, 3.5 to go before the half. Davidson looks inside again, this time to first. Nice spin to the baseline, can't get it to go. Davidson fighting for the rebound, and they're going to go Blackhawks' way. And Northside's going to call a timeout to talk things over here. 3:15 to go in the second quarter. Blackhawk 25-21 lead here before the half. Northside, when they are up tempo, is when they are at their best.
Yeah.
Their half-court game is really not working so far tonight. But when they can find that penetration, especially on the fast breaks, that's when they're gaining their advantage tonight.
Without question, creating havoc and chaos on the defensive side of the ball. Northside creating those turnovers, getting out in the open court and pushing the pace. You're right. They're very effective when they've got momentum going towards the basket. I give Blackhawk Christian credit, though. Settling into that 2-3 zone, that 2-1-2 that they've implemented has really forced Northside to slow down in the half court, and you can definitely see that they're uncomfortable, forcing them to shoot from the outside, and thus far they've not been very effective.
Yeah, only made 1 3 tonight, which granted is one more than they made against Cathedral.
That's right. Progress.
But I'll tell you, Cathedral, a heck of a ball club.
Oh, no question.
I mean, they've won both their games by about 50 points. So we will not judge Northside by their first game against Cathedral. That is for sure. Davidson will trigger it in underneath for Blackhawk. Looking for a Pickett on the baseline. Handoff to Davidson. He will give it back to Kellen on the baseline. Kellen will drive in the lane. A floater, fall-away jumper for Kellen.
That is really good offense there by Kellen. Goodness. Ends up able to hang in the air just long enough to shoot that laser beam. Soft enough of a touch to roll it over top, have it fall through.
Kellen, the first to break into double figures with 10 points tonight.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Kellen is not intimidated at all. Neither is Bronte Johnson. Goodness.
9 points for Johnson, almost equaling Kellen Pickett there on the other end, and Northside pulls back within 3. Davidson trying to clear out, play a little two-man game with Josh First there on the left-hand side. First turns inside and got the block shot, but also the foul on the play. Jordan Green really battling inside there with both Pickett and First, depending on who he's matched up with at the time.
Yeah, he's given Josh a little bit of trouble. Good challenge there for Josh First down on the block. Green's blocked his shot a couple times tonight. But again, give Josh First credit, able to hang in the air long enough and adjust his shot, be able to pick up that foul, get a couple free throws.
First free throw is good. 5 points so far for Josh. 4-point lead, trying to extend it to 5. And doesn't get that one to go. Pickett and Davidson both had the rebound almost. Northside instead comes away with it. Nice move there by Johnson. Gets it up on the board but can't get it to go. He thought he had contact. That's why he tried to get that shot up there, tried to get the 2 free throws.
There
Isaac
it is.
Smith in the corner for 3.
Boy, the difference between that shot and the last 3 that Isaac has taken is that his feet were set. He was waiting for the ball to come to him. And he gathered himself. He had really good balance as he received that ball and was able to shoot it. And nothing but the bottom on that shot. Goodness, pretty.
Smith with 2 threes on the night, 6 points. Minute 45 to go before half. Johnson pulls up again for 3. Hits the wire above the rim. Out of bounds to Blackhawk. Johnson will take a seat there as Brayshawn Bassett returns for the Legends. Fugate. Actually, he didn't come out. Fugate came out for Northside. Saw him heading toward the bench. 7-point lead for Blackhawk. Minute and a half to go. Muldoon with a lot of minutes here in the first half. Josh first driving baseline, hangs in the air again, goes up for two.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Boy, he saw the help side defense coming out to test that shot. He just hesitated enough, releasing that ball, allowing the defender to go by. Really nice play by Josh, goodness.
Bassett over to Johnson. Bassett again left-hand side. Johnson with a minute 10 to go. Johnson splits Muldoon and Davidson. They're going to get the foul inside, I think, on Muldoon. Yep, Aiden Muldoon picks it up. Boy, Johnson was able to just go right between Muldoon and Davidson there. And as Aiden tried to catch up, he just got a little bit too close there.
So slippery. Yeah, Johnson, Quicksilver out there, able to find those cracks and knife through them.
Johnson will take it out underneath now for the Legends. Minute 5 to go before the half. Gets it all the way outside to Bassett. And Blackhawk goes man-to-man. Actually, no, they're still in the zone.
Yeah,
look man-to-man there for a second. But
yeah, maybe initially on the out of bounds and then sag back into that 2-3.
Johnson takes it now with 45. Looks like Northside's content to take one shot if need be. Johnson looking in the corner for Bassett. Nice recovery there by Smith. Now Dickerson. Johnson on the left-hand side. 25 to go. Johnson looked to split it again. Dickerson goes for three. And he does not get anything there. Out of bounds to the Braves. 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, I think the Braves are content with every time Northside takes a three. They're going to call that a win, whether it goes in or not. That's going to be kind of their game plan tonight on the defensive side of the ball.
15 to go. Blackhawk trying to go into halftime with a double-digit lead. 12 seconds to go. Muldoon tripped as he tried to drive past there. We'll see who we get on the foul here. Looks like number 4, Bassett.
Number 4, great shot, Bassett. That's his first. Team 6.
Bassett's second. Jordan King will check back in.
Legends lineup, number 33, Jordan King.
And who's going to come out? Looks like Jordan Green will come out. Jordan King for Jordan Green. Isaac Smith from the corner. He finds the bottom again.
Set the puppies, receive the ball, splash it home.
Johnson with a long three. Probably a couple steps before he had to again there for Northside. But we've reached halftime, and our score, Blackhawk Christian 36, Northside 24. We'll take a little break here at halftime. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the second half action. All right, welcome back to Blackhawk Christian as we get ready to start second half action. Blackhawk Christian Braves versus the Northside Legends. 36-24 is our halftime score with the Braves with the 12-point lead. Paul Suvar joins me on the broadcast here tonight. And Paul, some halftime notes. The 2-3 zone you made particular note of being very effective there in the first half for the Braves.
Yeah, really smart move by Coach Roth coming out here, scouting his opponent, understanding kind of what their strengths and weaknesses are. Northside, extremely quick, really explosive. They want to try and take you off the dribble and get to the rack, beat you with penetration. I really feel like that 2-3 zone that Coach Roth implemented here in the first half slowed down that penetration and really forced Northside to try and take those open shots from deep. And so far, it's been really effective. They have not been able to cash in tonight with it. And so give Coach Roth kudos to him for being able to roll that out and know those strengths and weaknesses of the opponent.
Individually, the two newcomers to the starting lineup really stood out. Kellen Pickett and Isaac Smith both leading the way in the scoring for the Braves.
Boy, really impressive. You're right. Guys who are stepping into the starting role. First game of the season here. Kellen looks, comfortable. Absolutely like he belongs. Consistent, confident on the offensive side of the ball. Very decisive when he has the ball in his hands. And Isaac Smith just took a little bit of time for him to kind of get into that rhythm. He's fulfilling that floor spacer role and being able to shoot from deep and loosen up that defense from Northside. So, yeah, really impressed by those two so far tonight.
Briante Johnson, the leading scorer for Northside there in the first half with 9 points. As Dickerson started Northside out with a bucket here in the second half to pull them within 10. And Northside will come back here with a chance to get it under double digits. Johnson, the floor leader out there for the Legends. He usually has the ball in his hands. Young back to Johnson. For penetration, corner three, no good. Davidson with the long rebound for Blackhawk. Isaac Smith. Open, can't quite get the three. Pickett keeps it alive in a fight between First and Green for it. And Blackhawk will get possession on the jump ball.
We've really seen that all night long as well, and that's been a consistent thing throughout the years as well. Blackhawk Christian loves to crash the offensive glass, and boy, tonight that's taken place as well. Kellen Pickett, Josh First, Jimmy Davidson doing a lot of that dirty work, trying to maintain possession for the squad.
Kellen Pickett down low, tries to hang enough, gets his own rebound. Can't get it to go, but is fouled. Way to stick with it there for Kellen Pickett.
I love it. I've watched Kellen Pickett play a lot throughout the years. I have a son who's in 10th grade and got to play with Kellen for a handful of those growing up as well. Kellen is just a skilled player. He's got a little bit of an edge to him as well. I love seeing this. He's just blossoming before our eyes here at the varsity level. He is not intimidated at all by his opponent. When he gets that ball, he's been very decisive, taking it to the basket.
And I guess when you're 6'8", you really shouldn't be intimidated, right?
You shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But
even as a sophomore.
Goodness.
Gage Sefton fought for the rebound in order to get another possession for Blackhawk. Pickett with the follow away, and he's going to get the foul called there again. I'm not sure what that shot was going to end up. So I'm glad for the foul. I don't know if you want your 6'8", player there falling away on the jump shot like that, but
yeah, he's confident in that jumper of his. Maybe fortunate to get the foul picked up on that shot in particular. But
what Northside has shown tonight is the propensity to be able to block shots.
Yeah, that is true. They are interested in going up at the apex and trying to contest at the top of that release point.
Johnson now with the ball for the Legends. Penetration against the zone. And back out to Johnson as Young didn't feel confident enough to pull the trigger on the jump shot. Now he and Dickerson both trying to be inside there on the zone. Johnson will try to run traffic control out there for Northside. Three-pointer on the way for the Legends. That is way off. Davidson found Sefton, but just a little too deep on the pass there. Out of bounds to Northside. Yeah,
good idea. Saw Gage leaking out, but a little too heavy-handed with the pass on that regard.
Brayshawn Bassett into the ball game for Northside. Places Jordan Green. Johnson again with it. Fugate inside. Dickerson. Blocked shot by First. I think they're saying he got him low because I think the high was clean.
It looked good up top, it did. That's textbook as far as how you go about breaking a zone. You need to penetrate seams, or you send cutters to those open, vacated areas, and you get them the ball, forcing the defense to suck to you. But that's a beautiful little position pass right there, down towards the block, and then pivoting with it down towards the baseline with it. It doesn't take much. It just takes a little bit of patience to try and break zones and a willingness for your teammates to cut into those open areas.
11-point lead for Blackhawk, 5:45 to go here in the third.
Nice.
Gage Sefton going all the way in, picking up the foul on the play. Eugene Young got him as he penetrated there. Number 2 on Young.
Beautiful hesitation dribble there by Gage Sefton. Got the defender on his hip, and as soon as he got even with him, well, Gage could do whatever he wanted. He just took that ball hard to the rack and was able to pick up that foul.
Looks like Gage may have a little bit of blood on the knee. So they're going to try to get that cleaned up real quick or get a sub in. I'm not sure what trainer's going to try to get him cleaned up there real fast to where he doesn't have to come out. Coach Roth will call a 30-second timeout to try to avoid having to bring Sefton out of the ballgame there. (38-27) our score, 5:40 to go in the third quarter. Sefton been quiet in the scoring column obviously so far, having to sit much of that first half with foul trouble. He's been aggressive on a couple drives here so far in the second half, just trying to find his way into the scoring books here tonight.
Yeah, it's hard to get into a rhythm when you're dealing with foul trouble, and you're absolutely right. That's exactly what Gage was working through in the first half, having to try and encourage his teammates from the sideline. You're right. He's touching the ball right now. He's being decisive. He's being aggressive. He's trying to take really the action to the defense. It's creating that contact, and in that instance right there, ends up skins his knee up a little bit as he tumbles to the floor. But a little tape job by Ann Laborde, our resident PT here in-house, gets Gage all fixed up, patched up, ready to go.
Or at least covers it up.
For the time
Good
being.
enough for now.
That's right.
Gage long on the first. Second one is good. Gage Sefton with his third point tonight. Builds it back up to a 12-point lead where we were at halftime. Cross court now for the Legends. Bassett has it out to Johnson. Bassett with the penetration. Almost ran into his own guy. Dickerson was right there. He gets it on the baseline. Outside to Fugate for three. He hits it.
And in order to pull Blackhawk Christian out of that zone, you have to be able to throw up a couple of those zone busters. Get a couple of those from the outside.
And we're going to go the other way. Gage Sefton a bit called for the offensive foul, raising his elbow up there on the drive. And that will be Gage's third foul. So we'll see how Coach Roth decides to play that here. Obviously, we just mentioned Gage trying to be aggressive that time. Just got his arm up a little bit too high on the drive.
Yeah, trying to spin back to that strong hand and a little out of control with that off arm.
Johnson over to Bassett, left-hand side. Dickerson sets a little screen for Bassett. And we got the traveling call against Bassett. Josh first held his position well. Ended up almost on top of him.
That was fortunate, frankly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bassett kind of got into the body of first, and it might have been a 50-50 call. Blackhawk fortunate.
Pickett hung in the air, and luckily Josh First was right behind him. He goes up for two. Pickett in no man's land there, but he got bailed out there by Josh.
Yes.
Corner, Dickerson, no good on the three. Gage Sefton with a strong rebound. And they've got the push there against Bassett. It'll be out of bounds to the Braves, but it should give Northside another chance to set up their press.
That's his third.
Bassett's third foul of the ball game.
Turn of the game action for the Legends, number 11, Jordan Green.
And number 5, Javion Davenport, checking back in.
Bassett's given Northside really good minutes tonight. Good intensity on the defensive side of the ball. Picking up his third foul. Very evident he's a physical player. That's what Northside's looking to do. Force the action.
Northside pulls back on the press. Kellen Pickett, baseline three.
Bucket. Kellen Pickett. Boy, again, we've seen that. It's just that secondary break, pushing the ball up to the corner.
Josh first jumped, almost looked like tapped him on the top of the head, and that's going to be enough to draw the foul there. Josh had his third.
At the line for
Johnson with nice penetration there for the Legends.
So explosive.
Good on the first. You almost feel like if Josh had stayed straight up there and didn't bring his arm down, he probably would have been okay.
Yeah, Johnson was hunting for that contact, and again, good body control from him, floating in the air and not releasing that ball initially. His first tried to block that shot, came down over the top, a little bit of contact.
Northside will keep the pressure on here. Gage Sefton helps break it. Isaac Smith is set in the corner, couldn't quite get it to go. Rebound to Johnson. The Legends are coming back the other way. Fugate finds Dickerson. Fugate, now Johnson top of the key for three. He can't get it to go. Josh first with the board for Blackhawk.
Uh-oh.
Johnson was battling the sideline, Gage, and the official all at the same time there.
The juggling act, goodness.
Almost kept it in bounds. Jimmy will take it out for Blackhawk. 12-point lead for the Braves. 3:40 to go, third quarter. Screen set by First. They've got blocking foul called against Dickerson. Dickerson was trying to argue that he was set.
Legend fouls on 3 Gordon Dickerson. That's his third.
It was his third foul of the ball game.
Turning to action for the Legends, number 0, Michael Dye.
Michael Dye back into the ball game, senior for Northside. And looks like we got Jordan King checking back in for Northside as well. And he'll get Dickerson as Dickerson just picked up number 3. Dickerson giving Northside some good minutes tonight as well. Aiden Muldoon into the ball game for Blackhawk. He replaced Sefton. Screen set by First. Davidson with the penetration out to Smith. Muldoon all the way in, top of the key. First fighting for the rebound, but out of bounds to Northside. Northside get a piece of that shot there by Muldoon, was it?
They did, yeah. Yep. Good contest there by Muldoon. I like the penetration. The lane opened up for him, but that's just good weak side defense on the rotation. I'd go up and test that shot. Get enough of a fingertip on it to alter it.
Johnson will pull it out a little bit for Northside. Got the big screen coming here. And too many hands there by Blackhawk. Just a matter of is it Davidson or Muldoon? It is Muldoon. Aiden's second, better than Davidson's third. And for the first time tonight, Will Guthrie.
Will Guthrie side, love it.
He replaces Josh First. Not to get Josh in any more foul trouble.
Will's a really fun player to watch. He's one of those guys that he's fundamentally sound, and he just puts you in the hurt locker. He gets you on the hip. A lot of head and shoulders, a lot of pump fakes. He's a lot of fun to watch.
Game action for the Legends.
Homegrown kid. Guthrie's been playing on our JV squad the past couple seasons. Gets the call up to the varsity level this year. Wide body, can take up a lot of space there in the middle.
Yeah, strong, tall. Yeah, he's going to be important for Blackhawk this year.
Green fighting his way down the below. Couldn't get the outlet pass to Dye though, out of bounds to Blackhawk. 12-point lead still, 2:45 to go here in the third quarter. Isaac Smith will trigger things in. And man-to-man on the pressure after the inbounds. Muldoon open in the corner.
Yeah.
He buries the three.
That's huge. Really big. Confidence building there for Aiden.
Timeout for Northside. 47-32 is our score. 2:31 to go in the third quarter. And Muldoon's first bucket of the ball game, but he had some good looks before that. But you're right, that should boost the confidence of Mr. Muldoon.
Yeah, that is the one part of his game that I know he's working extraordinarily hard on, is just becoming more consistent of an outside shooter. And really, that's the way the game is gravitating towards, becoming more perimeter oriented, and three-point shooting is at a high premium. But Aiden is a good floor general. He's got a high basketball IQ. He's got quick hands, quick feet. In order for him to take his game to the next level, that's exactly what's missing at this point. Just having that consistent shot from outside and being that threat, that consistent threat that other teams have to respect and honor.
And being the floor general out there, sometimes your shots don't always come easy.
Yes.
Because what he's being asked to do out there is to run the floor, to be the floor general, be the point guard, distribute, get guys open. But you're right, you have to be able to bury the open shot when it comes.
Yeah, without question. Yeah, part of being that floor general is setting your teammates up for their own offense, for team success. But you yourself have to be that threat as well. You can't be a liability on the offensive side, otherwise defense is just going to sag off of you. So,
We've had some point guards in history who have been really good here in recent history of getting things set up for their teammates, but every one of them improved over the years on their open jump shots to make themselves more dangerous.
Absolutely.
Isaac Smith with a nice rebound there for Blackhawk. Tell you, some guys have been marathon men for Blackhawk here so far.
Yeah.
Jimmy Davidson, Kellen Pickett, Isaac Smith, they have not been out of the ball game yet here tonight. Pickett throwing himself in, again, hanging there in the air, but Jordan Green clearing space inside.
Goodness. That is a strong young man.
Three-pointer from the corner goes in and out. Just couldn't get that one to drop. Davidson finds Will Guthrie. Guthrie let that ball slip a little bit. And he tied up Johnson. That ball's going to go out of bounds to the Legends. Guthrie just couldn't corral that one in on the pass down low. We'll wipe up some condensation on the floor as Bravon Bassett checks into the ball game now for Northside. I think it's his first time into the ball game tonight. Johnson will get a little breather here as we approach the end of the third quarter.
Bravon is a smooth lefty out there. Watching him in warm-ups. Got some decent rotation on his shot, so giving him a little bit of daylight. You gotta watch it. He looks like he's kind of a confident shooter out there.
One of 8 seniors on Northside's roster here this year. Inside, can't get it to go. Green goes right over Muldoon, and Muldoon is going to pick up the foul on Green.
What?
King, I'm sorry.
I love seeing that stuff. Smallest guy on the floor. It's simple fundamentals. Find a guy, run into him, box him out. Right? Aiden Muldoon, about half the size of King, but able to get possession for his team by just doing the fundamental thing, working hard down on the block, boxing out.
Kellen Pickett goes up, can't get the roll. He was right there, point blank, just couldn't get it to roll. 1:25 to go, Blackhawk up by 15. Northside with the ball. Young on the right-hand side, gets it to King. King is busting his way into Guthrie, and they've got Guthrie on the blocking foul. I'm not sure what else Will could do there, but
oh goodness, wrong place, wrong time. I mean, that's King was lowering the boom, moving just about anybody who was in his way.
And you mentioned it's not easy to move Will Guthrie.
Yes, strong young man.
Got the foul underneath. Isaac Smith will pick that one up, his first. 16 fouls for both teams. Next one for either team gets them into the bonus. Fugate Take another three and hit it.
That looked good. That looked smooth. Had his feet set. Good rotation on that shot. Good follow through.
Fugate has been their best three-point shooter tonight. He's hit 3 of them. The rhythm looks good when he's got his feet set. Davidson, little floater, no good. Pickett came flying in there, just couldn't corral it. Under a minute to go in the third. Nice tip away there by Smith. He's got Muldoon on the left. Muldoon will penetrate. Will Guthrie. Nice shot there.
Great find right there again. Aiden Muldoon cutting down to the baseline, finding Will Guthrie in the paint. Soft touch by Will.
Will's first varsity points. Congratulations to him.
I like it.
That was his game even at the JV level. That little mid-range jumper right there in the lane. And Will Guthrie he'll get every bit of that foul. He gives that up. He gives that one up gladly.
It's going to earn that one.
Jordan King is a man inside there. I mean, he's throwing that body around. He's not being shy underneath the basket there, but when you're a man of his size, that is your game.
Yes, yeah.
And he's doing it well.
I think he looks across the other side of the floor and he sees someone a little bit more closer to eye level with him. He wants to be aggressive in that regard. Bringing Josh First back in the game right here. We'll see if that aggressive posture by King remains. An additional shot blocker. Really both Gage and Josh have a propensity to go up and try and block shots.
Second one is banked in there by King. Whatever works.
I think he called him, I think.
In my scorebook, it says he hit a free throw.
That's right.
He has one more varsity free throw made there than I did, so we're good.
That's right. Good on you, Mr. King.
20 seconds to go. Jimmy Davidson brings it up. Kellen Pickett has it now. Gage Sefton closely guarded by Bassett. And they'll call the holding foul on Bassett. Bassett providing very intense defense there on the outside.
Yeah, sticky defense, trying to stay all over Gage, not let him breathe. But Gage, he's a veteran. He knows what's going on. He's seen that type of defense before. The closer a man is to you, the easier it is to go by him.
Will Guthrie checks back in. Just First doesn't pick up any silly foul here, as he has 3. Sefton with the 1-and-1. He hits the first. This is the 4th point of the night for Gage so far here. Eugene Young into the ball game for Jordan King.
Yeah, really limited opportunities for Gage. Foul trouble in the first half, and then just the flow of the game here in the second hasn't provided a ton of opportunities for him to kind of cash in offensively.
Yeah, again, now Gage checks out, not wanting him to pick up number 4 either. 14-point lead, about 11 seconds to go here. Johnson slips. Muldoon tries to track it down, but Fugate does instead. Got Bassett outside with 1 second. That shot is no good. And that's the end of the third quarter. Blackhawk Christian 51, Northside 37. 14-point lead for Blackhawk Christian going into the 4th quarter. Blackhawk was able to extend the lead by 2 points there in the third quarter. Thanks in large part to Kellen Pickett with 5 points there in the quarter. 6 points in the quarter for Jackson Fugate, trying to keep Northside in the ball game here. We'll see what they come out with here in the 4th quarter, because unfortunately for Northside, you need a few threes to get back in the ball game, and that has not been their primary thing tonight.
Yeah, they're going to need to have some things go right for them, obviously, when you're down by 14 going into the last stanza here. You're going to need some things to go right to break your way in order to climb back into this thing, one of which is going to be become more consistent from downtown. I think another thing that's going to be really key for Northside here in the 4th quarter is trying to pick up the pace. I know that's where they want to be. That's where they want to live. They want to try and accelerate the game and turn it into a track meet. which, I mean, ultimately is what they're going to have to do here in the fourth quarter. They're going to need to increase possessions and make sure they're locking Blackhawk Christian down on the defensive side of the ball and limit their opportunities. But you know, we've seen stranger things. You know what? We were here for Homestead last year, and we were down by 20-something in the fourth, and were able to claw all the way back and send it into overtime. So the game's not over till it's over, and Northside has athletes to throw at the Braves. It should be an exciting fourth.
Jackson Fugate, we mentioned it earlier, he's by far the best three-point shooter tonight. So look for them to try to get him open. Obviously defensive pressure as Northside does man-to-man here. Gage Sefton, nice dribbling moves on the outside and the jump shot to go.
Boy, it's just being strong with the ball. Ooh,
nice alley-oop play to Jordan Green for two.
Boy, in warm-ups, he was just easily rising up and dunking the basketball during warm-ups. And that's, again, another example. Fast break. Get out on the run. Push the ball. Attack the rim. Jordan Green ends up rim running and being rewarded for it. And on the defensive side, Northside's able to create a turnover, unforced.
Yeah, Kellen Pickett just not a good angle on the pass attempt down to Josh. 14-point lead here. Nice baseline pass. Ball strip at Dickerson right there to pick it back up. Kellen Pickett backs out of the way to try to avoid picking up the foul. And we've got the ball underneath to the Legends. Boy, a lot of hands underneath happening there, but officials let him play on that one. Let's see what they do here. Get the ball outside to Fugate. Nice close out there by Pickett. Not giving Fugate a chance. Left-hand side to Green. Dickerson. Johnson back in the game, but hadn't really handled until right now. Trying to get some other guys involved. Spin move, and we're going to get the foul. Looks like on the floor, and I believe Jimmy will pick that up. Yes. Davidson's third.
That's his third.
So a lot of guys with three, which at this point is not trouble.
Yep.
Obviously, you don't want to pick up number 4 early in the fourth quarter. Nice move there by Johnson, though, to get to the basket even against the zone.
Yeah, that's a tough call on Jimmy.
Can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound, though, and goes up and in.
Good follow there by Johnson. That is, you know if it's going in or out if you're the shooter.
Sefton loses it for a moment. Isaac Smith picks it up. And they've got the foul called there on Northside.
I feel like Johnson again.
Johnson there in the corner. I think that'll be his first of the night, actually.
Legend foul, number 1, bonus. Johnson, that's his first.
Bonus the rest of the way for both teams.
11, Isaac Smith, 2-1, and the bonus.
We've got Bravon Bassett back into the game, replacing Young. Northside trying to get some ball handling, maybe some better outside shooting in there.
And I think they want to try and pressure the ball as much as they can as well. Try and pick up the pace. Less than 6.5 to go in the game. They need to try and accelerate this thing a little bit.
Smith in double figures tonight for Blackhawk. That was his 10th point. Number 2 also good. Blackhawk with a 14-point lead, 6.5 to go. Pass it to Johnson. Johnson will bring things over to the right-hand side. Looks for a screen by Green. Outside, Bassett with the left-hand three.
He looked confident in warm-ups. Good rotation. That's exactly what Northside needs. The Legends are going to have to cash in from deep if they expect to claw back into this game.
We're too closely guarded there by Johnson. Now send Jimmy Davidson to the line for 1-and-1. Johnson with his second. Again, Northside doesn't mind having the clock stopped here.
Yes. Yeah, stopping the clock. You got to hope at this point that Blackhawk falters a little bit at the line.
Davidson's first is good. Davidson up to 9 points tonight.
Really some balanced scoring across the board for Blackhawk Christian. Nice contributions from.
In and out, but Pickett right there with the rebound. Helen with 17 tonight. Blackhawk back up to a 14-point lead. Pass it inside. Johnson, fall away jumper, tough shot.
Yeah, tough shot, but good positioning. That's where you want to be. Cut to where that open space is in the zone. Trust your teammates that'll find you.
Nice steal off the double team. Johnson will lose the ball out of bounds. As he falls, and hopefully he's okay over there. Looks like he is. Braves will take possession here.
Yeah, that's exactly what Northside wanted. Create a turnover, get out in the open court, push the pace, just Bassett overshot Johnson. I didn't know you could do that. He's so fast.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Johnson, one of the top football players in the SAC this year.
Goodness.
Jimmy Davidson will shoot the three. Off, no good. First with the rebound, but brought it down, and that's when the guys went in after it. Jump ball, and it goes to the Legends. On that one there, you almost want to see Josh just kind of go back up with it while he's still in the air.
Yep.
Because he had a clear lane. Once you bring it down, you make everybody else the same size.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, all of a sudden you're negating that size advantage that you have, and the Legends are trying to go small, trying to apply that pressure and pick up the pace, so they're giving up some of those rebounding opportunities anyways.
So a nice look inside there by the Legends. They again find the little crease in the zone, just like they were doing at the beginning of the game.
Beautiful off-ball movement. It's slicing into those open areas.
Josh first picks up number 4.
Correction, 2-shot.
Two-shot foul. We're going to have Aiden Muldoon check in here in a second for Josh first, it looks like. Blackhawk will go a little bit smaller. Obviously, they'll still have Kellen Pickett out there in the middle.
And that's not a bad, not a bad move. I'm impressed with Coach Roth tonight, as I should be. He knows what he's doing. But again, he's surveying the floor. He's recognizing that the Legends are trying to go smaller themselves, and he's counteracting that by taking first out as he picks up his 4th and putting in Muldoon. A little bit more ball handling.
Young hit the free throw.
Oh.
North side, Fugate, top of the key, no good. Muldoon fighting for that rebound, but Young gets it, and they've got Kellen Pickett on the reach in there. And we will be 2 shots from here on out for Northside, as that's foul number 11.
Foul is on number 4, Kellen Pickett. That's his first.
Pickett with his first foul, so he's definitely not going to be in any kind of foul trouble there for the Braves.
Eugene Young, shooting 2.
Problem here is the Legends can drop it under double digits. They just keep hanging around. Misses the first.
Well, that's certainly a silver lining. If you look at the foul trouble that the Braves are currently in, to recognize that your 6'8" big man is picking up his first foul with 4:46 left in the 4th quarter. That's impressive. And he's been mixing it up down on the block as well. It's not as if he's been passive out there.
That one in and out. Davidson with the board. Blackhawks got to be strong with the ball here. Muldoon will bring it up for the Braves.
Ooh.
Nice move past Johnson. Finds Smith out in the corner.
Feet set, ready, locked and loaded. Launch sequence initiated. Isaac Smith splashes that puppy down.
Johnson right around everybody for 2.
Goodness.
Johnson was 6 in the quarter. He tries to help bring the Legends back into it. Down by 12, 4:10 to go here in the ballgame. Gage Sefton now out top. Bassett will apply the pressure to Gage. Muldoon, now Davidson. Nobody around Davidson here. He's looking for the clear out to get one-on-one with Kellen Pickett. Pickett pushed outside a little bit. Gage Sefton now right-hand side. Davidson looking for a screen and roll with Kellen now. Again, Jimmy really directing traffic out there. Kellen, turnaround jumper, no good. Muldoon.
Great rebound.
Kellen Pickett in the baseline.
Yes,
three.
sir. Wow. Big shot by the big man, right-hand corner pocket.
Why do a fall away when you can step out for three?
Goodness gracious.
Johnson for three, no good. Pickett with a nice board. Blackhawk seemingly back in control a little bit here. 15-point lead. Got a little bit of the momentum back.
Yeah, this possession could be one of those dagger possessions. Convert with this one, and it's about all said and done.
Jimmy Davidson got his feet a little mixed up, but Kellen Pickett right there for the putback.
Goodness, right place, right time. Dickerson hitting the ground multiple times on that possession, trying to pick up a foul on Kellen Pickett. Got to play through.
Pleading his case to the official, as is Coach Andrews. 66-49 our score, 2:45 to go here in the ball game. Blackhawk finally getting the momentum back in the last couple of possessions, starting with just taking care of the ball.
Yes, yeah, you're absolutely right. That is 100% on point. It's just being strong with the ball. You have a lead. You're going into the fourth quarter, up by 12, up by 14 points, trying to maintain that lead. Northside's trying to speed you up. They're trying to force you into positions where you're turning the ball over so they can get easy transition baskets, creating offense from defense. Blackhawk Christian, all they have to do is slow down, take a deep breath, make sure they're swinging the ball to the open man, and then attacking the basket when opportunities present themselves. The last couple possessions is exactly what's happened. Now, that possession where Kellen had the ball down on the right-hand block and he faded away was not attacking. But it resulted in a positive play because Aiden Muldoon was able to crash the offensive glass and then swing it out to his big man who was waiting in the right-hand corner, who again showed off another one of his tools in the tool bag, hitting what, third three of the night, I believe.
Yeah, third three of the night for him. 22 points tonight for the sophomore.
Yeah, really impressive.
We talked in the pregame. Northside last year was the coming out party for Josh First. You got to ask now, is tonight the coming out party for Kellen Pickett?
I would say confirm it. Send the invitations, folks. Let the announcement be made. Kellen Pickett is here.
Left side, Fugate. Up top to Bassett. Swings it over to Davenport. Bassett, the lefty, smooth inside for two. Bassett didn't play much early on, but I'll tell you, he's been impressive here in the fourth quarter.
He has been. Good energy off the bench, good defense.
Timeout for Blackhawk. As Muldoon had the ball, they were trying to commit the foul on him. The referees weren't calling the foul, so Davidson very eagerly got the timeout instead.
Not a bad play there. Again, the opportunity to try and get that tied ball, that held ball possession, and turn the ball over back to the legends as presented. So Jimmy kind of jumped all over that with a timeout. Yeah, smart. I like it. Good situational awareness of what was going on.
You can't take the timeouts with you.
That's correct.
So
use them up. Use them or lose them.
Yep. Especially in that situation. I mean, that possession is worth more at that point.
No question.
So the Braves will come out now and they'll get the ball on the sideline. Obviously, they can go backcourt with it if they need to. Muldoon still in there for First. And they get it into Muldoon. And Northside didn't try to foul him right away this time. He did lose the ball. Ooh. Pickett dives on the floor. Ooh. And Northside comes out of it with the wide open layup.
Helter Skelter. Talked about being strong with the basketball. Here we go.
Yeah, we talked about the key to that little stopping of the momentum was taking care of the ball.
Yep.
2 straight turnovers there. Josh First will check back in here on the defensive possession for Blackhawk. 1:52 to go. Blackhawk still with a 13-point lead. Davenport looking to get it in. Davidson right there, but Johnson able to take it away. Fugate gets it back outside. Johnson guarded by Davidson. Fugate open for three off the rim. Gage Sefton with a strong rebound.
Look out.
You and I both saw that coming. Johnson gets the bucket and the foul. Gage trying to foul him to prevent him from even shooting the ball, but unfortunately Johnson too strong for that, able to get it up on the board, and now looking to complete the three-point play.
Goodness, just explodes through Gage right at the rim, somehow able to get that ball off the backboard. Soft enough to allow it to drop through. That is, Johnson's good. He's pretty good.
Yes, he is a very good player. It's the free throw. He's going to check out here. 10-point lead, minute and a half to go. Can the Braves hang on? Sefton double team, didn't pick the ball up where you want to there, but First tried to get it there, and Kellen Pickett.
Right place, right time, Kellen Pickett. Northside did exactly what they wanted. Aaron's shot could not complete the defensive possession by getting the rebound.
Davenport took advantage of a couple guys falling down. He almost falls down again, but they're calling for traveling.
Good.
Players not happy there with that. They were trying to get a foul call on as Davenport went to the floor, but minute 5 to go. 12-point lead. Blackhawk with the ball. Davidson to trigger in. And we've got a holding foul before it comes in. And that'll take Blackhawk to the other end to shoot two.
Yeah, Bassett has provided a lot of good minutes off the bench for the Legends. Physical, he's quick. Yeah, he's really ratcheted up the intensity. He locked down Gage. He was not allowing him to move at all. Officials aptly called that foul.
Sefton knocks down the first. Rodney Jones into the ball game for Northside, his first action tonight. Sefton knocks down number 2. Northside will roll the ball up. Minute 5 to go. At some point they might pick it up.
There we go.
Johnson, nice penetration. Josh First commits his 5th foul. And Josh will go out of the ball game.
As much as we're like, oh goodness, is he going to pick it up? I mean, 3 total seconds went off the clock from by the time Johnson picked that ball up and exploded to the rim and picked up that foul. So effective.
Johnson has found the seam most of the night against that zone. Aiden Muldoon will come back in for Josh. Nice ball game tonight for Josh. He finishes with 9 points. Part of the balanced scoring that you were talking about earlier. When we look at the scorebook later on, Coach will be happy with the up and down scoring, all the way through the roster there.
Yeah, lots of contributions from guys across the board. That's important. I think that's going to be a key to the success of the Braves this campaign.
Davidson gets it up to Kellen Pickett. Cross court to Smith, and now back out to Davidson.
Oh, Johnson again.
Too much length, too much empty space on that pass. Up ahead to Davenport with a bucket and a quick timeout by Northside. 43.8, 11-point lead for Blackhawk. I'll tell you, if the fourth quarter has exposed anything for Blackhawk, it's the ball handling.
Yeah.
It's taking care of the ball against pressure. They tried to make a couple of long passes that had just way too much space in between them, especially for guys with quickness like Northside has here.
I think there's definitely going to be some keys to the game that Coach Roth is going to go back and have some talking points with his team to kind of address. And that's going to be one of them. The idea of just being strong with the ball. We've mentioned it multiple times tonight on the broadcast that at one point in time in the fourth quarter, the Braves were up by 17 points, and it seemed like it was kind of like the nail was in the coffin and they were driving it home. And yet, because they've been a little sloppy with the basketball, they've allowed Northside to kind of hang around and chip away, and all of a sudden they're a possession away from getting it under double digits into single digits. Less than a minute to go. The likelihood of Northside coming back, not super high, but again, stranger things have happened. You never know.
And again, you've got to be able to get the ball across the court here, across the 10-second line. They get it into Pickett. Now Sefton. Aiden Muldoon in front court. Smith will get the foul there. Bassett will get that one, and Smith, a good free throw shooter, will head to the line. Double bonus. 2 shots here on out.
Always nice to know you got that second free throw in your hip pocket. Get to the double bonus.
Smith long on the first free throw. Jordan King back into the ball game for Northside. Dickerson steps out. Smith good on number 2. They don't let Northside roll it up this time. Bassett thought about the 3. That one's off the rim, no good. Gage Sefton with a nice strong board. And we get the foul going the other way against Ivan Hood. Good strong rebound there by Gage.
Fantastic rebound in traffic right there by Gage. Absolutely right. Strong hands, be able to corral that thing in. Yeah, Northside, no choice but to foul, lay hands on Gage and force him to the free throw line.
The senior stepping up for 2. Chance to push it back up to a 13-point lead. 14-point lead, excuse me. First one is good. And Gage goes into double figures tonight with 10.
Expect to say that a lot this year.
Yes. We talked about the lack of opportunities, foul trouble and this and that for Gage, who still finds a way to get into double figures there.
Yep.
Misses the second. Rodney Jones will bring it up. King back to Jones. Looks for the penetration. Not sure how many steps he took there, but Jordan King goes in there for 2. Under 10 seconds. Davidson should just dribble this one out if the Legends let him. And it looks like they will. And we'll have a final score. Blackhawk Christian 72, Northside 61. A good comeback attempt there in the fourth quarter for Northside. To no avail. 11-point lead, a good win there for Blackhawk Christian here tonight on opening night of the basketball season.
Yes, good showing. Good showing here. 11-point win against Northside's scrappy team. Very athletic, very explosive. And I love the game plan that Coach Roth was able to implement tonight with his team. Sending out that zone defense to try and slow down the Legends, force them to shoot from the outside, which they're a little less comfortable doing, and then kind of live with the results. Really impressed across the board offensively for the Braves, and really just their willingness to contribute from a lot of different areas and levels on the floor. We saw them try and establish Josh first down on the post, and obviously Kellen Pickett down there on the block as well. But we also saw some mid-range game from Gage Sefton, and definitely some of those floaters by Jimmy Davidson as well, working its way in. And then at that third level, the extended range from Kellen Pickett again, and Isaac Smith. It's going to be really key for the Braves this year to try and see if they can get contributions from a lot of different players across the board, have that balanced scoring. It's going to be interesting to see how far Coach Roth dips into his bench. Tonight, he might have went two players deep, possibly maybe three for us who got some playing time off the bench for him. But for the most part, you're right, there were some Iron Men out there tonight with Isaac Smith and Jimmy Davidson and Kellen Pickett playing almost the entirety of the game.
Yeah, I don't think any of those three came out at all tonight. So kudos to them on that one. We'll run down some individual scoring here. First for Northside, Briante Johnson led them in scoring with 21 points, 10 of those in the fourth quarter. Oof. He single-handedly tried to pull the Legends back into this one and actually was succeeding. They were pulling themselves back in. The fourth quarter, the highest scoring quarter of the night actually for both teams. Northside actually won the fourth quarter 24-21. It's by far the most scoring of the quarters here tonight. Johnson was the only guy in double figures for Northside, but plenty of other contributions. Jackson Fugate with 9, Bodie Dickerson with 7 tonight, Jordan Green with 6, 5 points each for Bravon Bassett and Eugene Young Jr., 4 points each for Javion Davenport and Jordan King, and that rounds out the scoring for Northside. For Blackhawk tonight, paced in scoring by the sophomore Kellen Pickett. Kellen tonight with 24 points, 3 3-pointers, did work inside and outside. Kellen Pickett really had himself a great ball game for his first start of his varsity career. Oh,
no doubt. I mean, we saw it from a variety of different levels. Again, down on the block, from the mid-range, and as well from deep. We said it multiple times in the broadcast as well. I'll say it again. He just looks comfortable. He's consistent. He's content. He's decisive when he has the ball in his hands. He does not look intimidated at all. This being his first opportunity to start at the varsity level. We know we got run as a freshman, but really impressed with Kellen Pickett offensively. And you know what? I'm going to shout him out defensively as well. We mentioned in the fourth quarter that, as a sophomore being 6'8", that's intimidating. There's going to be a lot of low post players and really guys who penetrate. They're going to try and take that ball into your body and draw fouls from you. But Kellen was able to stay out of foul trouble the entire game, picking up maybe one foul for the duration of it. So, yeah, really, really, really well-rounded game here. Bright future for Kellen Pickett.
And for a young man like that to go the length of the game, to not get a break the whole game in his very first varsity action, I mean, even that alone is a big accomplishment. Not checking out at all. Like you said, only picking up the one foul. It's a good game tonight for Kellen, but balanced scoring throughout. 15 points for the other newcomer to the starting lineup, Isaac Smith. Isaac with 4 3-pointers tonight. I'll tell you, every time Isaac had his feet set, you mentioned it, you can count on that 3-pointer going in if Isaac can get his feet set.
It's pretty, right? And he's got such a quick release with it as well. I think sometimes he gets himself into a kind of a rushed habit, but if he settles down, gets those feet set, this is exactly the role that Coach Roth expects of him. Be that floor spacer. Allow your teammates to create open shots for you and be that outside threat that this team needs for this season. Great first game here by Isaac Smith, pouring it on. I expect big things from him for the duration of the school of this year as well.
Joining them in double figures is the senior Gage Sefton. Quiet most of the night, foul trouble in the first half. Gage still comes out of there with 10 points for tonight. 9 points each for Josh First and Jimmy Davidson. I noticed Jimmy was really looking for his shot more early on in the ball game, trying to get himself going, in order to help get the team going.
Yeah, I think that's a point of emphasis that Coach Roth is really trying to press into Jimmy as well. He's got such good court vision, and he's so aggressive on the offensive glass. Those are phenomenal contributions. He's a good defender, no doubt about it. But this team is going to need Jimmy Davidson to really be more aggressive on the offensive side and become that threat. Not just be someone who's taking up space on the offensive side, but someone who is going to be aggressive and force the defense to react to what he's done. And that was really encouraging tonight. We saw that mid-range game. We know that's a part of Jimmy's toolbox, and he was able to put it on display tonight.
Also scoring tonight, Aiden Muldoon hit a three-pointer there in the third quarter for 3 points tonight. And Will Guthrie seeing his first varsity action. He got a bucket there for 2. So everybody who played scored tonight for Blackhawk Christian. Obviously go to 1-0 on the season with a 72-61 victory. For Blackhawk, it doesn't get any better, or it doesn't get any easier, I'm sorry, I should say. New Haven, Friday night. New Haven should be improved ball game. We know what Brooks brings to the table for New Haven, but they're here Friday night, so that gives us always an advantage when we play here at home.
No question.
Friday night against New Haven, that's listed as a 7:45 start for us there on Friday night. Northside drops to 0-2 on the season. They are also back in action Friday night, and they host DeKalb. So, Paul, last thoughts on tonight's ball game?
Really impressed with the win tonight. Obviously, there's some things that Coach Rock is going to address with the team between now and Friday when we host New Haven again. But, you know, for it to be the first game to come out and to take on a plucky, athletic, explosive team in Northside, to come out with a double-digit win, that's an encouraging sign. And hopefully big things yet to come for the season as we progress forward.
Yeah, I agree with that. Obviously an emotional ceremony before the game.
Yes.
Again, our congratulations to the Davidson team, as they call it, Team Davidson.
Yes.
You know, the beautiful ceremony before the game. Congratulations to Joel Cotton, the athletic director, for putting together a very nice ceremony there. To Lisa and all of her family, we certainly wish them the best. They've been in our thoughts all along, obviously. And what an honor for the Davidson family. Mark Davidson, a big part of this basketball program, this school, and as Joel mentioned, the community as a whole. His impact will be felt here for years to come. And, you know, and as generations come by and they see the floor and they ask, Mark Davidson, who's he?
Exactly.
There's always going to be somebody around here who's going to be able to tell them the legacy left behind by Coach Davidson. So we're going to sign off here for tonight. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. This will be our site for all the home games for Blackhawk Christian boys basketball here this year. So thank you for finding us. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Again, we will be back here Friday night against the New Haven Bulldogs. So for Paul Suvar, I'm Brian Greenwald. Thank you very much for joining us. Be careful tonight, and God bless.